breathe. I know, like, I just look like I'm half awake, but I'm comfortable. So, this is a video response to Fab Cooks and Fusionofcultures video, My Worst Date. I watched Serena's one, Londoncurl, and I watched Keisha's one, Sugarplumkeisha, and hilarious. But I wanted to come on and share my worst date with you lot. So this one's a bit weird because it kind of has different parts to it, but stay with me. So I used to work at this footwear store, and this guy used to come in apparently to talk to me, and I still to this day cannot remember this guy. But anyway, me and my friend went out to a club. Just me and her, like, just had a good time, but she got drunk, so she went off to the toilet to be sick. So I was outside the toilet waiting for her, and as I'm outside waiting for her, this guy comes up to me and he's like, "You used to work in that footwear store?" So I said, "Yeah." And I was thinking, but that was like 3 years ago, so how the heck do you remember me? So he's like, "I used to come in and try and get your number, but you just wasn't paying attention to me, like you just really weren't showing me no love." So I was like thinking in my head, well, obviously I must have not been interested if I wasn't showing you no love, but for me to not even remember you shows me, you know, that you obviously weren't trying hard enough. So basically he said to me, "Okay, take my BB pen and we'll catch up." So I was like, okay, there's nothing really to lose, you know, I can't remember this guy, so might as well see where it goes. So I took his BlackBerry pen and we kind of started talking through BB pen on and off for like 7 months. Mind you, all these 7 months we hadn't met up, we hadn't seen each other since that time. So then he was like, "Oh, let's meet up, let's go out." So I said, "Okay, let's go out." So by this time I thought, you know, I kind of have an idea of who this guy is. I know what he does for a living. You know, let me see what happens. So we met up to go to dinner, and we went to Wagamama's. I had never been before. This is recent. This is like 4 weeks ago or 5 weeks ago. So this is a recent story. So yeah, first we were supposed to meet at the station, but he actually got to the station 20 minutes earlier than the time we're supposed to meet. So to me that was a bit like, okay, he's on time, he likes to be on time, but at the same time I was thinking he's a bit eager, but you know, couldn't really judge as such. So got to the station, but he wasn't there, so I messaged him saying, "Look, where are you? I'm at the station." He's like, "Oh, I'm at the Wetherspoons next door." So let me sit up. So I went to the Wetherspoons to meet him, and he was inside. So I'm thinking, I'm not going to go in a pub like that by myself, especially if we're not going to the pub for any reason. He needs to come out and meet me. So I said to him, like, "Come out and meet me, I'm outside." So he came outside and he had like a beer with him, or a pint or whatever with him. So he was like, "Let me finish my drink and then we'll go." It's like, okay, so we're sitting there and I'm just catching up, like, "Oh, you're right, how's things been?" And he's just sitting there, and then his phone rings. So I'm like, okay, you can answer the phone. He was on the phone for a good 10 minutes, chatting away like I wasn't there. So it was like, okay, you know, can't you just say to the person, "I'm busy, I'll call you back"? But no, didn't want to call that person back. So I'm sitting there la-di-daring, just, you know, watching. Mind you, we're outside, so we're outside of the pub and just la-di-daring waiting. So eventually he finishes his drink and he's like, "Okay, let's go." So like I said, I'd never been to Wagamama's before, so I didn't even know which one we were going to. And then he was like, "Oh, we need to jump on a bus to get to where we're going." So we was going to Angel, and he met me at Highbury Islington. Now that is like 5 minutes apart from each other, bus journey. Really and truly, I could have met him at Angel Station. I didn't see why I had to meet him at Highbury Islington, but whatever. So we got on the bus to go to Angel. Got to Angel, got to Wagamama's, sat down, got the menu, and the guy that was serving us, like, he had this really cool tattoo. So I said to him, like, "Your tattoo is really nice, like, it looks funky, it's different." And he was like, "Thanks." All this time, the guy's sitting there looking at me like, how can you be talking to him? So I'm thinking, hold up, wait a minute. I waited for you to talk on the phone for 10 minutes. I'm going to talk to whoever I want to, and plus you don't you know, you're not my man or whatever. So we're ordering food now. And mind you, because I've never been there before, it was like, okay, what does this taste like? What does that taste like? So the guy comes over to take the order. So I decided what I was having. Comes to him now, and he's like, I want this, but can you change this? And can you change that? And I don't like when it has coriander in it, so you take the coriander out. And can you make sure they don't put this in it? It was just like, why pick something if you're going to change the whole recipe to whatever it was? So I just said to myself, okay, let me just eat my food and go. So the food came, finished the food, and he's sitting there and he's all this slurping business, and no, just no. So the guy comes over and he's like, do you want dessert? So I said to myself, do you know what, let me get a cake. So I think I got a cake, a fudge cake or something, and I got a green tea because I love green tea. And the green tea is free, mind you, yeah, it's free. So when the green tea comes, obviously I'm letting it sit down and cool, and I'm not going to drink it because it's hot. Before I could even put my lips on this drink, he picks it up and drinks it. Now I said to him, if you wanted a green tea, why didn't you ask the man for it? He was like, I just wanted to taste it. I said, there's tasting, and there's drinking, and there's asking, and there's taking, and you just took my drink. So he was like, oh, no, I'll get you another one. I said, you know what, it's alright, I don't want it. So we left now, and there's a H&M nearby, so I was like, let me go H&M quickly. So I went to H&M to look around to see what was in the shop, and he was following me around this shop like we was joined at the hip. So then I was trying on these shoes, and this lady's like, oh, they look really nice. I was like, thank you, I might get them. So he was like, they're ugly, don't know why you would want to wear them for. If you was to ever wear them around me, you couldn't walk around with me. So I was thinking I wouldn't be wearing them around him anyway, because as far as I'm concerned, I'm trying to get home. I just want my shoes and go home. So I didn't buy them then. So across from there is French Connection. So he was like, can we go French Connection? I need to get some jeans. So I was thinking to myself, you can go in there by yourself. Like, you don't need me in there. But I went in there with him, looking around, and he was looking for jeans. So I couldn't find any jeans. So I said to him, let's just go. So he was like, no, I'm going to ask them if they got my size. So he asked the man. The man said they don't have the size. So there's this girl there, and she interrupted, and she's like, oh, I'll go and check for you. So I was like, okay. She went to go check for him, come back, and she's like, we don't have it, but we've got another jean that's very similar. So I'm thinking in my head, okay, there's customer service, yeah, but you don't even get commission, so why are you going in so hard? I know, you know, you want to do your job, but if there's no size, there's no size. And that's the one he wanted. So she's like, I'll go upstairs and I'll bring down a couple for you to try on. So I'm thinking, we're not in like Harrods or something. This is French Connection. At the end of the day, if they don't fit him or they don't have the size, then they don't have the size. I would, mind you, because I used to work in retail management, so I would have been like, she's a good sales assistant, but at the same time, I would ever thinking like that. I was just like, I just want to go home. So he's in the change room now trying on these trousers. So I asked myself, do you know what, let me just browse. So I start browsing around and I see this dress and I'm like, this dress is serious, let me try it on. So I go to try on the dress now, and I've got a big bust, so when I tried the dress on, it just looked ridiculous. So I came out and I was like, I don't want it. And the girl said, oh, well, I've got the same dress and it fits me perfectly. So I was like, well, you don't have my chest, so you don't have that problem. And I came out. All this time, he's still in there trying on these 2 pairs of trousers. So when he comes out now, the girl's like, oh, did they not fit? And he's like, no, I don't want them. And then she's like, well, I can get you in. So I was like, who's this chick? But at the end of the day, I was thinking, do you know what? If she wants him, she can have him, because I don't want him. So she's proper bending her back for this guy. Mind you, he is quite a good-looking guy, so I could understand. But if I'm standing there next to him, you don't know who I am. So she was going out of her way. So I said to him, you know what, I'm going to go, because I'm getting a bit tired. And then he was like, no. Wait, I'll come out with you. So he didn't buy the jeans, we left. So he's like, oh, let's go to a bar. Let's go and talk some more. I don't want to leave. So I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I could do with a drink. So we go to this bar. And this is when Euro football was on. So everybody's watching TV. So I was like, I don't want to sit with them watching TV. Let's sit somewhere else. So we sat in this corner. And he was like, do you want a drink? So I was like, yes. Yeah. So he got me some wine. Sitting there talking. And then the conversation just started talking to dirty stuff. Like, I want to do this to you. Let's go to a hotel now and do this. Da, 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 da. I was like, do you know what? I'm going to finish my drink. I'm going to go. So he was like, I'm sorry if I disrespected you or offended you, but I can't help it. I was like, listen, you don't know me from Adam. You kind of remember me. I don't even remember you, but there's no way that this is going down. That's not how I run. That's not how I operate. And, you know, you do you, I'll do me. So I left now. He followed me out. Oh yeah, another thing. When we was walking to the bar, there was 2 doors like to open. One of the doors was open, and he opened the other door and was like, here you go. And I was like, why would you open the door if the other door's open? Anyway, so we're leaving now, and it starts to rain. So I had my umbrella. So he's like, oh, let me use your umbrella as well. Mind you, this guy's taller than me. He's like 6'4". I'm 5'6". So he's like, oh, let me use your umbrella. So he grabs the umbrella out of my hand. Hello? Do I not need shelter? It's raining. So I was like, can I have my umbrella back, please? So he gave it back to me. So then I said to him, I'm going to the station. So I'm walking across the road to go to Angel Station. I get to the station, and then he tries to reach in for a kiss. I say to you this with so much passion. If my umbrella was closed, I would have knocked him in his face with this umbrella. I said to him, what are you doing? Oh, but no, and no. I just said to him, do you know what? It was nice going back on Mama's because I've never been before, but don't call me, don't text me, don't pin me. I'm not interested because you're not that guy. And I left it at that because I don't know what this guy was on. He was with the wrong chick. He weren't with me. It just wasn't the one. But yeah, that was kind of my worst date. It was quite recent, like I said, 4 or 5 weeks ago. So yeah, it was interesting to see everybody else's worst dates. But if you have a worst date, leave a comment below or do a video response to Fab Cooks and Fusionofcultures video. And I will speak to you soon. Bye.